Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, on this wacky Wednesday, October 29th, coming to you with tonight's edition of 90 Day Oy Vey. I have a message to my newly found cousin Dana. Yeah, apparently we are on such friendly terms. I feel like I could call him Cousin Dana. I'll explain that in a minute. And you know how Chloe has all of these trust issues when it comes to Johnny on 90 Day Fiance the other way? Well, I think maybe Johnny should have some trust issues when it comes to Chloe. So I'm gonna get all into that in a moment. Hi Shy, hi Bella, hi IDGIFEM. Spooky Trash. Thank you everybody for joining me. So I hope everyone's having a good week so far. Hump Day is almost over. Wacky Wednesday. So hi Tina. There we go. Hi Tina. One thing I've noticed is YouTube has taken a lot of you guys' screen names and morphed them into weird things with numbers and I don't know. Ever since YouTube did the upgrade, it's been weird. Hi Deirdre, thank you for joining me. So, okay, let's hop right into this. First, we're gonna start off with a message from me. Okay? A message from me to my newly found cousin Dana. Let me just get right into it so you guys see what I'm babbling about. So apparently, Dana, he was scrolling through the gram and he found my post from 2 months ago about Jasmine. And remember how I did the post about Jasmine having judgments? She charged off a couple of credit cards, but she was crying on TV that she had no credit history to rent a apartment. Well, here, let me just share the video with you guys so you could see exactly what happened. So this is a message from me to my newly found cousin, Dana. Dana. Or should I call you Cousin Dana since we're on such a friendly basis right now? First, I want to thank you. Thank you for commenting on this post from 2 months ago about Jasmine, or should we say Yasmin. Now, I posted this back in August, okay? And he's just getting around to comment on it now. Lying her ass off about not having a credit history. So, thank you. Secondly, how gullible are you, Cousin Dana, to think that Gino is feeding me useless information? Well, there is something called public records. And while I found Jasmine's judgments, looky what I found as well. So, Cousin Dana, all I have to say is don't come on my page if you don't want the heat. So, back in June, when I actually pulled Jasmine's judgments and I saw that she did have a couple of judgments against her and stuff like that, I saw that Dana had lots and lots and lots of judgments. Okay, tons. But at the time, I said, this is not Dana's storyline. This is between Jasmine and Gino, and I wasn't going to put it out. But since Dana decided to grow a set of balls and come and comment on my page and call me gullible, I have news for you. I don't even talk to Gino. I don't need to talk to Gino to get my tea. Okay. I have tons of sources of tea. I've been doing this longer than you've been friends with good old Yasmin. Okay. So, cousin Dana, please stay the fuck off my page. Just saying. So, moving on to the whiplash that we get in 24 hours on Jasmine's stories. First, she says Things I've gotten hate from women this week: for screaming during birth unmedicated, for breastfeeding my daughter while having implants, how dare I, for opting for a water birth with minimal intervention, for the water from the tub not being bloody or dirty, whatever that means after giving birth, for putting makeup to meet my daughter for the first time ever. My sincere apologies for being a human being having a human experience. I pulled the placenta out with one hand while holding my daughter with the other hand. I never felt so powerful yet vulnerable, and no one will ever take away this magical experience from me ever. Listen, Jasmine, okay? Yes, having a baby is a powerful, magical experience. But you are not the only woman on the planet Earth to have one. And you would think so. Listening to her and reading her stories, you would think that she is the only woman that ever gave birth unmedicated. There was someone in my chat last week that gave birth unmedicated to twins. And to that person, okay, and you know who you are, I give you a standing ovation, okay? Because I had one child and I was screaming for drugs. Imagine giving birth to twins unmedicated. So, my point is, Jasmine is not the only person on the face of the earth to have gone into labor, to have, a baby unmedicated, okay? But, Jasmine, that's all I have to say. Jasmine. So, you know how Matilda is in this baby of the year contest? Okay. Well, she was in first for the longest time. Now her lead was slipping a little bit. Check out these other adorable babies that are in this contest. Okay. So, listen, I gotta admit, these babies are really, really cute, especially the ones that were in first and second. Baby Maddie was in third at the time, okay? So, I'm just saying, and I'm going to continue to say it. I think it's unfair that her mom has an Instagram following alone of a half a million, 500,000. I don't know. She has a shitload of followers between TikTok and Instagram, and now she's starting to promote her Facebook. It's like, bitch, you need to stop using your child for money and for clout. And yes, I said it, okay? This poor child has a camera in her face every fucking 5 seconds, first of all. Secondly, I feel like her mother is pimping her out for this contest so she could win this 20K. And yes, I'm going to say it. In my opinion, Jasmine will not be earmarking that money for her child's education. But this is purely my opinion. Okay. And did you guys know that Jasmine does cameos with baby Maddie on her lap? Yeah, I found this out today. Okay. She does cameos with the baby on her lap. Talking about pimping out your baby. But I'm just saying. Okay. So now that Gino and Jasmine, or Yasmin, have finally filed for divorce, it is a battle of the attorneys. So we have Yasmin's attorney, Auxilius, versus Gino's attorney, Thomas. So, first of all, Jasmine tried the Angela trick by putting an ad in the paper to serve Gino. So, this way, if Gino didn't respond in 28 days, she would get a divorce by default. That's what I'm trying to say. So, there we go. So, she tried to put an ad in the paper to serve Gino. Her attorney was the one that did it, I assume. And her attorney got great reviews. Her website seems very professional. All the stuff about her, and where she went to law school and all that other good stuff. Now, I just want to clarify something for you guys. Here's the best divorce attorney in all of Florida with baby Maddie. But one thing I want to clarify with you, this guy that Gino was sitting down talking to during this past Sunday's episode, he's an attorney. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he's not an attorney, but he's not Gino's divorce attorney. Okay? This guy's name is Robert Stemlock, and he was not Gino's divorce attorney for his first divorce either. He got his first divorce in 2000, what is it? 2012, December 7th, 2012, and he was represented at that time by a Lauren Wright Middleton. Now, his current attorney is Thomas Quartz, and all of these attorneys are solo practitioners. So it's not like, there's a firm and they could have worked for the same firm. They're all solo practitioners. Okay. So now his attorney, Thomas Quartz, says that they filed for the divorce first. Jasmine's attorney, by putting the ad in the paper, is technically saying that she filed for the divorce first. Why do I see another season just fighting over who filed for the divorce first? Okay? Like, give me a fucking break. I just think it's too much of a coincidence on how real life events are lining up to what's going on TV. Okay? So now Gino has this divorce attorney named Thomas Quartz, who, coincidence, maybe, maybe not. Um, Gino's ex, Lindsay, she's been on my channel a couple of times. The one that Jasmine blamed for getting her fired from her teaching job in Panama, which has been proven to be a lie. Actually, let me pull this out. Lindsay getting Jasmine fired from her teaching job in Panama is.
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
So, is this a coincidence? Like, my mind is like blown. Lindsay used to work with Thomas Quartz when she was a paralegal back in the day. Talk about a case of it's a small world after all. So, this is his Facebook page and this is his website. He has been involved in some controversy in the past, even though he got great reviews from people. But he has gotten himself into some legal trouble, and but the charges were dropped. Okay, so this was back in 2024, and it says Mancomb Circuit Court Judge Richard Coretti dismissed on Friday 2 counts of conspiracy to obtain 1,000 to 20,000 under false pretenses, conducting a criminal enterprise, and 2 counts of committing fraudulent insurance acts against Thomas Quartz, an attorney. So basically, back in 2024, the attorney who was representing Gino in his current divorce with Jasmine that was just filed, it was the ad in the paper was put in on September 15th, I believe. So this was literally just filed. Okay. So this attorney found himself in a little bit of a mess last year, but charges were dismissed. And this is his reply to an article that was published on Facebook about that case. He says, "Thank you for the article. It's a shame what the insurance companies get away with in this country and that they were able to get the government to bring this meritless case. I'm so grateful for the judges in this case that dismissed it outright as there was not one piece of evidence to indicate a crime." Think about what that really means. 5 different judges saying there's no evidence to even indicate a crime took place, yet doctors just trying to treat real injured people and the lawyers simply asking the insurance companies to pay real claims had to risk their freedoms and have their reputations dragged through the mud. Real crime is the insurance companies denying benefits to the injured citizens who pay for benefits. I will never stop fighting for the people of Michigan. Then apparently there is this website called no ethics.net, and it basically airs out shitty lawyers, judges, etc. So basically this was a post about Gino's attorney, Thomas Quartz, and it calls him a moronic slacker. So basically, it accuses him of a bunch of misconduct and shady activities, and basically, it calls him a moronic slacker. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around the coincidence of having the divorce line up to what's going on TV. I don't know, guys. I smell a bunch of.
Warning, warning, bullshit alert.
So don't forget, baby Maddie is still in the contest. Okay. Jasmine does cameos with baby Maddie on her lap. So if you want a cameo from Jasmine, you might get a 2-for-1 special. She might do one with the baby on her lap. But since she is so kind and sweet and nice on her stories and her TikToks, and she says a prayer every night, the Jazzy stands fall under her spell every single day and come on my Instagram page and attack me. But don't worry, everyone that was a Jasmine fan that had their panties in a twist because I was encouraging people to vote for the other babies whose parents didn't have a 500,000 followers. Um, don't worry, baby Maddie's back in first. Okay, she is most likely going to win the contest. I have nothing against the baby. Before anybody gets twisted and they get their panties or boxers all in a twist and start leaving me rage comments, because that has been the trend lately, leaving me rage comments. I have nothing against baby Maddie. What I do have a problem with is how her mother is exposing her to the internet at such a young age. Like I said, there's a camera in this child's face every 5 seconds. As we all know, there are sketchy people in every corner of the internet. And you, being the public figure that you are, you would think you would be a little bit more private with your child and not have her as exposed. Just for that very reason, all of the boogeymen and monsters that are on the internet. But instead, baby Maddie is breastfeeding, she has a camera in her face. Baby Maddie's sleeping, she has a camera in her face. Taking a bath, she has a camera in her face. Pooping, she has a camera in her face. Her mother is using her, in my opinion, for clout, exposure, and attention. And it's very sad because at the same time, she is exposing her, in my opinion, to real dangers on the internet. But to all of those Jasmine stands who say, I have a mental illness, don't you worry. Baby Maddie is in first place. I guess that's all that matters, right? Jazzy needs that 20K for a little nip and tuck and lift, maybe? I don't know. Okay, moving on. Cara. Cara took Nico to New York. They had a great time. But one thing I have to tell you, Cara, I'm sorry. You were scammed by your Uber. I'm going to let her explain what happened, but here we go.
Hi, good morning. Happy Monday. I have a lot of you guys DMing me about my son not being in the car seat, which I totally understand because I had the same concern. When I got to New York City, I actually ordered a special Uber that was supposed to have a car seat, and it arrived at the airport and didn't have a car seat. And I said, "Excuse me, you're supposed to have a car seat." And then I was informed that actually in the state of New York, actually I don't know if it's the whole state, but in New York City, if you're in an Uber or a taxi, your child can be in the back seat with no car seat. If you own a vehicle and it's like personal property, then you have to have a car seat. I didn't know either. Anyway, so that's what that is. So in case you didn't know, now you know, because I also didn't know. Anywho, hope you have a great Monday. It's looking stunning in Virginia now that I'm back. And yeah, that's all I really got for you.
Anywho, I'm sorry, Cara. You got ripped off by your Uber. They lied to you. Yes, if you request a car seat, Uber with a car seat, they're supposed to show up with a car seat. Okay. And especially that you paid the extra fee, they're definitely supposed to show up with a car seat. And secondly, the law in New York is yes, children need to be in a car seat even when they're in an Uber. It's only in the yellow cabs that they don't need a car seat. But if they're in a ride share like an Uber or Lyft, a car seat's required. So I'm sorry. You got scammed by a New York City Uber driver, and that fucking sucks. So moving on today, and Elizabeth's celebrate their 8-year anniversary together, and she says she would do it all over again. We have Alex with his brood of kids, okay, and it's been a Disney month for 90 Day cast members. Jovi and Yara, Patrick and Thais, all were in Disney, and they, met up for, in my opinion, what was a photo op. Because honestly, when you look at the rest of their pictures, Patrick and Thais have their own pictures, and it's just the three of them. And Yara and Jovi actually went with a couple of other friends, so it's like their group, and then Patrick and Thais are on their own, which makes me think that they just met up for a photo op. But this is just my opinion. So, Jovi, listen. Now wishing your mother a happy birthday is going to cost you your half of the inheritance. Okay, so you better remember your mother's birthday. It's only one day a year. Jovi, come on, dude. Seriously. Your brother is getting the major points on this. So, for those who wonder, what does Florian do? He is actually still working for the upholstery place that he was working for. And what does Georgie do? Well, let me show you what Georgie does. Excuse me. I just have to say, eye bleach warning, you guys, okay? And here we go. Let me just make this bigger, you guys.
Chicago deep dish. What else you gonna get in Chicago? Chicago deep dish pizza. Where we are? At Lou Aminati. So I wanna try for first time deep dish.
Put a little hot pepper on there.
I put hot pepper, I put garlic, I put like everything. That was sausage. Sausage, tomato, onion, mushroom a little bit. Wow. I just want to eat even more. Wow. That's why I was waiting to come to Chicago and try the dish.
You know something? That shit just made me hungry. And yes, I know I be trash talking. Darcy just posted a picture of her eating deep dish pizza too. Yeah, they're back to their eating reels again, and I really wish that they would stop. Not for nothing. So, Georgie, digging into that pizza. Yes, I love Chicago deep dish too, but there is nothing like a traditional New York slice. That's all I got to say. So, okay, moving on to the scalding hot tea that fell on my lap today. Okay, so you know how Chloe was being all jealous and hiding in a tree to spy on Johnny while he was working on the pirate ship. And she got into an argument with his best friend because she doesn't trust Johnny. And there, been some trust issues because he cheated on her in the beginning. She thought that they were in a serious relationship. He didn't think they were in a serious relationship. Huge miscommunication. And he had a thing with some chick in Florida. So yeah. So you know how she was hiding in the tree and she's insanely jealous? Well, should Johnny be the one to have trust issues? Now, once again, this is exclusive. Okay, you're not going to see this anywhere else because this was sent to me, literally dropped on my lap. Okay, so these are pictures from June of 2025, June of this year, a period of time that Chloe and Johnny were together. And she looks very cozy with this dude. You let me know in the comments what you think. How cozy they look, or So maybe a little bit too cozy. I don't know, guys. These look a little. Hmm. I think Johnny should be the one kind of worried with trust issues. Getting really really cozy. Another thing I just want to confirm with you guys, I actually messaged him before all of this stuff about Chloe landed on my lap. But I asked him just to double check because when my husband and I met up with him in Aruba last month, I asked him if he had any children. And I'm aware that there's this Reddit post and a couple of YouTube videos or something out there saying that he has 6 kids, 4 in Aruba and 2 in the United States. When I met him last month, he told me he had no kids, and I confirmed that with him. He doesn't have any kids, you guys. Okay, so and I'm assuming if he did have 6 kids, at least one of the baby mamas would have came out already because he's been on TV for a couple of weeks. So that's what he says, and that's the tea that I'm giving you guys. So um basically, I think Johnny should be the one with trust issues. And in my humble opinion, Chloe is just a little too immature for the relationship. I mean, she's only 23. She has her whole life ahead of her. She should just take her 20s, live it up like she wants to. I mean, obviously, she wants to live it up. So then just live it up, girl. So I just feel bad for Johnny, okay? Because if that is the case, that Chloe was cheating on him and getting a little bit too cozy with this dude, I feel really bad for him. So you guys just leave me a comment and let me know what you think about those pictures. And would you be upset if you were Johnny and saw Chloe, getting a little bit too cozy with that dude? Let me know what you think in the comments. So, moving on, Luke did a question and answer session on the gram. And of course, he's not going to confirm or deny whether him and Madeline have broken up or have gotten married. Okay? Um, the one thing that he did confirm in his stories was that he has been working on a hotel project and haven't marketed for the jewelry. If you could 100% help me, um, if you like, drop a DM because somebody helped if asked if they could help him market the sunglasses. So he's put the sunglasses and jewelry on the shelf to work on the hotel project. And then someone else said, "When do you think you're going to move back? We need you here." And he says, "House design loading." So my question is, move back where? Move back to the United States or move back to Colombia because you're in the United States? Where are you moving back to, Luke? Didn't you move to Colombia for good? What's going on? Or did you slip on your stories and this is all just
That
Anyway, so moving on. Someone asked him if he is going to do an OnlyFans, and he says, nope, not yet. And never say never, I guess. And someone else says, don't get married. And he says, keep watching to find out. Okay. Madeline, I've seen a lot of roasting of her looks, comparing her to different cartoon characters, comparing her to a horse. And, her personality may be very strong. Okay. She may be whiny and annoying, but in my humble opinion, I do not think that that justifies the abuse that she's been getting online making fun of her looks. Okay. I mean, I've seen other content creators compare her to, I don't know what the fuck it was, a horse or something. I don't know. It wasn't even funny. So it's like, okay, you may not like her and you may think that she's annoying and a whiny little child, but we're all supposed to be grown adults here. Comparing her, and what is she? She's a child. She's younger than my son. I'm sorry, and to be comparing her to cartoon characters and roasting her. I mean, the nails and the Nutella is bad enough. Okay, that's more than enough to fucking roast her on. Is the Nutella nails. Okay, but to compare her to a horse and and donkeys and whatever the hell else I've seen them making fun of, comparing her to, it's like, come on, like, please. What are we in fucking junior high school? Kind of like somebody else calling me Four Eyes, but that's a whole nother story. So, moving on, we have Greta, okay, who was in New York City. This is Astoria. I'm thinking that the tell all might have been filmed last weekend. Okay, because otherwise, why the hell would Greta be in New York? I really don't see Greta as the type of just, taking a trip to New York unless she had some type of business to attend to. I don't know, but yeah, she was in New York last week, so that kind of makes me think. Okay, so Jenny and Submit, and actually, Jenny's daughter, Christina, is talking about visiting Jenny and Submit, which makes me think, is she going to be on Last Resort with them? You know how, like, sometimes well, not sometimes, last season they had like family members, like Brandon's parents and Stacy and whatever, be involved in the therapy. I wonder, since the rumor is that they are going to be on Last Resort 3, if Jenny's daughter Christina will be involved with that. We shall see. So, Manon, okay, I feel so bad for her. Not only is she getting a lot of shit online, she gets some really nasty DMs. So, Isabella, I want to thank you so much for sending this to me. And I'm just going to read this to you guys real quick. So, Isabella commented on the 90 Day Fiance official Instagram page. They had a clip of Manon talking to her aunt. So Isabella said, from this clip, I feel Manon's mom and the one aunt sitting next to her tend to be quite judgmental and harsh on her. Manon also over explains things, and this may be the reason why several family members are up in Manon's business. I also understand why people over explain, as it comes from previous relationships that are either fraternal, amorous, or all of the above, having to prove yourself for any type of trust and love. Although she wanted to stay behind to be with the family, I wish Anthony encouraged Manon a bit stronger to come home with him and Ben. They are calmer when it's just them, as we saw at the park playground area. Alcohol and family drama don't mix, and she's too pretty in her beautiful white outfit for all that drama. So Manon replies, my family is indeed super judgmental and always was. They don't talk behind your back, though. They will tell you everything straight to your face. I got that from them. They think is they see it's easy to provide in France, but they all, mom and aunt, have a husband who makes money. My mom actually never had to work until a few years ago because my dad had his own business. I'm just worried about making income in France. We don't get these clips and segments about money because I'm trying to protect my husband as much as I can, not to emasculate him, saying I need him to make money so I can count on myself for that, which is okay. I don't care, but I know for a fact that if money is going to be an issue, if we buy or even if we rent, we don't have a lot to live off of. But I can't control anything. I feel I am just lost. So I get her. She is a very emotional person who wears her heart, her emotions on her sleeve. And yes, I did also get the sense that the aunt sitting next to her, when together with the mom, could be kind of like a double team action. And we know that they edit a lot. So I bet you there was a lot that went on at that table that we didn't see. So I get it. I get it. It fucking sucks. But it also sucks that she has to get these horrible DMs. I don't understand what's all the fucking hate. It's just a reality TV show. And someone wrote to her, fat, selfish, CUNT. Money is never more important than a family, but when you're fat, ugly, and a bitch, cry yourself to death. How fucking nice. And this person that DM'd her that has a picture of his wife and his child as his profile picture. You see what I mean, you guys? It is like, what in the actual fuck is up with all this hate? So, before the 90 days is beginning soon, you guys. And even though I know it's probably going to be torturous because every season I start off really optimistic. Okay. I think, okay, we're going to have new couples. It's going to be good. I'm going to watch it. You know, it's going to be good. By the time we get to like episode 4, I'm ready to bail out. The last B90, let's just put it this way, it had Renee and Chidi, it had Lauren and Faith, it had Wheelchair Brian. Do you get where I'm going? Yeah. Okay, so I am hoping that B90 will be a lot better than it was last season, but I'm not very hopeful. As a matter of fact, I just think all right now it is just
Bullshit detected. Take precautions.
but we shall see. And I'll let you guys know as soon as, I find out more about the cast and dates and stuff like that. Okay. Like I said, everyone was at Disney. Chantel, Ashley, her girlfriend, even Natalie. Natalie met up with Chantel and Ashley for a photo op. All the 90-day cast members meeting up at Disney and getting together to take those selfies. Yep. Okay, so Yorkville Charlie, thank you. I really appreciate it. Did it I'm telling you, the 90-day is becoming worse and worse and worse as each season goes by. Okay? Now, Rocky, all I have to say is yeah, where's my button?
Bullshit level. DEFCON 5.
The one that got away my ass. Okay. First of all, everyone knows that Tiffany had a boyfriend the whole time. She put her relationship on pause to go film, allegedly, to go get that bag, allegedly, of 70K. And then once the season was over, she conveniently announced on the tell-all that she had a boyfriend. So, Rocky, don't give me that crap, the one that got away.
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
Tiffany posted a throwback picture of her mom. Now, do you guys like Tiffany on Pillow Talk? She's been on Pillow Talk with Tim like 2 episodes or 3 episodes, I think. Honestly, I prefer the Tim and Veronica dynamic. So let me know what you guys think about the Tim and Tiffany dynamic. I think they're trying too hard. So let me know what you guys think. So, okay, here we go. And believe it or not, you guys, even though my nickname is Messy Mary, I am so tired of this shit. But of course, it is my duty to bring the tea to you guys. So here we go. Remember, I reported about a night where Angela had gone wild and she basically deep throated Mark from Match Me Abroad season one's beer bottle, allegedly laid hands on him, allegedly stiffed him out of a check, allegedly was a hot mess express, and it turned into a shit show. Well, I'm going to let Mark explain in his own words what's been going on because the shit hit the fan yesterday, and I sat back literally with my popcorn with the biggest smile on my face. So I'm going to let Mark explain what happened.
Then you probably should know about Angela Dean and her henchman, this guy, convicted sex offender George Mossy, said about me over the weekend. George claims he's never met me, that I crashed the party. Well, I can easily disprove that. Here's the clip.
Apparently, he found out about this event that Angela was having, and he wasn't invited. He invited himself, and he showed up.
Not only was I invited guest, Angela knew I was coming, and I was invited by none other than the convicted sex offender George Mossy. Now, why George went on that podcast with Shabuti and said all those things, he probably never thought I would hear it, because I don't listen to anything he puts out. But I heard it because someone sent it to me, and I heard nothing but lies, guys. Nothing but lies, and it's easily proven. I've known George for years. I've known Tyree for years. I was an invited guest, as I proved. So if you want a non-reporter who's just going to go out there and make up stuff, that Shabuti and George Mossy podcast.
So as you guys know, I definitely sat back with my popcorn and just said, because I reported on this about a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, when Mark did his first video on TikTok. And little lady, I have to thank you again for sending me Mark's first TikTok video where she's deep throating the bottle and dancing around with drag queens. That just kind of opened up the can of worms. I did my video that night, and so they're going back and forth with the convicted sex offender defending Angela, which is no surprise because, like I keep saying, until I'm blue in the fucking face, birds of a feather flock together. Let's think now. Her daughter, Scotty. That's all I'm saying. Okay? So, I did a video on this. Oh, geez, what is this? 6 months ago now. Okay. And I just want to say that I'm happy that since a cast member spoke out about this, that it's coming to light again. Because honestly, the first time around when I reported on this, yes, I received a lot of support for bringing this forward, but also I received a lot of hate, people accusing me of being jealous of him. Excuse me, jealous of what? And it's just, in my opinion, I thought that sex offenders weren't allowed to be on the internet or they needed their internet usage to be supervised, especially since his charge involved the internet. That's his charge up there. Okay. And I know, yes, he did a spin about this whole thing and said it was, because of the way he was brought up and he was a minor when this happened. Well, first of all, no, he wasn't. He was 22, 23. And secondly, if you really did nothing wrong, why did you decide not to show up in court and had to have a warrant issued for you to go back to court, plead guilty, and take care of your business? Okay? Why? Asking for myself. I reported on this 6 months ago, and yes, a lot of you were like, oh my goodness, you guys unfollowed him. But I would say a majority of the 90-day community, cast members, etc., didn't bat a fucking eye. It's just like another day in the neighborhood. Okay. Did I also mention, and if you guys watched my video 6 months ago, you would know this as well. He was charged with a DV charge in January of 2024 against his son. But his son declined to prosecute. Okay? So yeah. So Mark is right. I don't understand why he is on a podcast, why he's on the internet, period. Isn't he supposed to be supervised? I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. But, okay. Angela's worried about my weed smoking. Yeah. She's worried about my weed smoking. She hangs out with a sex offender who is on the national sex offender list. Okay. His charge is alleged importuning, which basically, in layman's terms, is the attempted solicitation of a minor under the age of 13 for sexual purposes. And from what I understand, the victim in his case was a male. But Angela and her moon filter is worried about me smoking some weed on YouTube. Yeah, this is the world that we live in. Okay. So, Angela, I'm going to give you the attention that you want, because since it seems like every fucking night I'm your content. Tell me, how did Messy Mary over here, become Angela, the queen of realities content? Like, what in the actual fuck? The bitch is making money off of me. She complains, oh yeah, she makes money off of me. No, actually, the bitch is making money off of me. Okay, and I'm fucking sick of it. So she needs to keep my name out of her mouth already. Okay, here we go. Angela and her stupid moon complaining about my weed.
Hey, is it true you can smoke marijuana on your channels now on YouTube? Everybody keeps talking about someone smoking marijuana on their channel, and California's legal. Is New York legal? I don't smoke marijuana, but I don't.
Listen, you ignorant bitch. Yes, it's legal in New York. It is legal in New York City. We could sit outside and smoke it. I could stand next to a cop and smoke it. Okay, you ignorant bitch. But I guess slurring your words and being on substances on TikTok is okay. I don't know.
I don't care who does. That's their business. I don't give a shit what people do. But for me, hell, I don't like to fall asleep and eat and get lazy. I like to be right here, full of energy. Canada is baby. What's up, Liz? You see people doing it, but you can't. What's that mean, Sean? Why, like on YouTube? Oh, thank you, Karen. Sean, can you tell me what that means? Like if they're, oh, you can record it and put your YouTube up but you can't do a live smoking it? Is that what that means? Karen's in the freaking house. That's the Loyal Royal. Someone explain it to me. I guess the little ugly thinks that's cute. The little ugly woman thinks that's cute because nobody cares.
That's her new nickname for me, the little ugly woman. And if nobody cares about me smoking pot, because the last time I checked, I was a grown ass adult. I'm 51 years old, the mother of a 21-year-old. If I want to sit here and smoke pot, which is legal in my state and in my city all fucking long, it is my business. But obviously, it seems like you care, you miserable bitch, because my name is in your mouth every fucking night, and you are monetizing off of me.
Oh, I'm grown. I get to smoke marijuana. Like, who gives a fuck? Damn.
Obviously, you do.
I'm starting to feel sorry for her. Like, really, I have a big heart, you know? And there's something, the elevator's not going up. I mean, over the years watching this woman stalk me, like, that's how I am. My heart's big. I'm really starting to feel sorry for her. Like, something's not right.
Okay. All right, you guys. Because she has been getting on my last fucking nerve, and I'm so sick of fucking hearing her mouth. So I'm going to put my full face up here for a second because I know you guys don't want to look at that stupid picture of her being the man in the moon. Angela Dean, I don't give two shits about you. Okay. It is my loyal followers and subscribers that come to me and tell me that I am your content, that you do nothing but talk about me. Now, I am the ugly one. And apparently, according to you, I am ugly, not on the outside, I'm ugly on the inside. Bitch, you shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house. That's all I'm saying. And for someone who doesn't care that I smoke weed, you talk a lot about me smoking weed. Okay? So, Angela, honey, we all know what you're doing behind your fucking filters. Okay? We all know that you're drunk off your ass. And allegedly, word on the street, honey, now you have to remember, I've spoken to lots of people that used to be in your inner circle. Allegedly, word on the street is you like to pop that snow candy every once in a while. That's what I heard. Just saying. So, bitch, maybe you need to smoke a joint. Okay? Because I don't know. I don't know. And by the way, if you're really, really concerned about the whole plane ticket situation, apparently Homeland Security took care of the whole situation, and she got it all fixed. And apparently, she was compensated in some way by the airline. So did she get upgraded? So now that makes me think, hmm, could have she done it herself? Decide that she was going to cancel her ticket so she could go to the airline and be like, oh my God, somebody canceled my ticket. Help me. And then, what are you going to give me for all my trouble? And they compensate her, they upgrade her. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that she's a fucking wackadoodle. She is drunk 99% of the time. Okay. In my opinion, on substances 99% of the time. And who gives a fuck that I smoke weed? You're lucky that I smoke weed, bitch. Okay. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be this quote unquote negative. Okay? So go fuck yourself. Keep my name out of your mouth. If you were to see me on the street, trust me, I would have you running down the fucking block. You think that you're big and bad? You haven't met the right bitch yet. Just saying. I'm sorry, guys. I had to get that off my chest. She has been getting on my last fucking nerve. Now, moving on. David apparently has joined the Cryptic Post Club, okay, along with Julia and Pow and I don't know who else, okay? He posted this. Apparently, him and Sheila have broken up, and now he is joining the Cryptic Posting Club. Say what you mean and mean what you say already. So moving on, and speaking of moving on, Lily has herself a new man. So check him out. She flashed him briefly in her reel. She got a new man. She's in a new relationship. And good for you, girl. Good for you. So Sophie had a very interesting weekend. She went to a Halloween party, some Sophie shenanigans. Um, a couple of miscellaneous updates before I let you guys go. We have Ziad chilling out. We have Manuel positive as always. We have Tanya being a sexy vampire. John and Megan went to Sarper's comedy show. Remember, they had a bit of a beef online, but they made up. Everything's all good. And Sarper and Shekinah are once again back on the road. And don't forget, I'm going to see him December 20th. Tata was upstate at West Point, New York. And James is still, in Maine doing his thing, I guess. Now, I decided to make some AI pictures of some cast members, who I could picture shaving their heads in support for Jasmine. Maybe not Florian, but I thought it would be funny. And definitely not Rob. Actually, maybe only Kimberly would do this in support of Jasmine. But anyway, I thought it would be funny to do some AI pictures of cast members going bald. And speaking of Kimberly, yeah, did I mention that her bestie is also the convicted sex offender George Mossy? Yeah, yeah. And fucking TLC acts like I have the plague when it comes to getting interviews with cast members. Just saying. Okay, so we have Rachel's daughter Lucy, um, and Shannon is wishing her man a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mete. And one thing that Stevie and Courtney have in common, they are both moving. And Sunny, as in Sunny and Bea, they were also on the last season of B90. You see what I mean? B90 sucked. B90 is where Gino and Jasmine originated from. Think about that. Okay, we first met Gino and Jasmine on Before the 90 Days. Ugh. Okay, Sunny says, do we ever think about whether or not if we are joined by aliens? Honestly, I have way too much on my mind to even think about this. So, Sunny, whatever you say. So, moving on. Thank you, everybody. I remember these days of being able to slam the phone down. Fuck you. Thank you, everybody, for watching me. Thank you, everybody in the live chat. Thank you for joining me. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Thank you, everybody that's watching me on the replay. Please subscribe if you don't already. Double check that you are subscribed because YouTube likes to fucking play games. Like, comment, share with a friend or 10. Please consider joining my membership. And with the holidays around the corner, you might want to buy yourself something nice. Check out my merchandise. Thank you so much. Have a good night.